Did you know the world is home to thousands of breathtaking valleys? Today, we're taking you on a journey through 12 of the most stunning ones on Earth. Let's go! From the fjords of Norway to the rice terraces of Vietnam, from the Caucasus Mountains of Georgia to the desert plains of Namibia, we are going to take you on a journey through the world with these 12 valleys, each completely different, each unforgettable in its own way. Some will leave you speechless, some will make you want to book a flight, and all of them will remind you just how beautiful this planet really is. The Geirangerfjord is a 15-kilometer branch of fjord carved into the mountains of western Norway, a UNESCO World Heritage Site recognized for its exceptional natural beauty. Here, waterfalls cascade down steep mountainsides, the Seven Sisters, the Bridal Veil, and the Suder, each plunging into the fjord in a haze of featherlight mist. Abandoned mountain farms cling to the cliffsides, remnants of a life once lived at the very edge of what humans could endure. The fjord reaches a depth of 260 meters, while the steep mountains surrounding it rise to 1,600 meters above sea level, a scale that is almost impossible to comprehend until you are standing in it. This is a landscape that doesn't just impress, it humbles. Situated in the heart of Mongolia, the Orkhon Valley has been the center of nomadic civilization for more than 2,000 years. Empires rose and fell here. The Xiongnu, the Turkic Khaganate, the Mongol Empire at the height of its extraordinary power, and the valley absorbed them all, unchanged in its essential character. The Orkhon River makes its broad, ancient meanders across a wide green valley floor. White gurs appear on the pasture as they have for centuries. Horses graze where armies once gathered. The ruins of Karakoram lie just beyond the valley's edge, the capital of the greatest land empire in human history, reduced now to a stone turtle standing alone in the grass. The Orkhon Valley has seen more history than almost anywhere on Earth. This is where Mongolia began. Situated deep in the accursed mountains of northern Albania, Theth is one of the last truly isolated valleys in Europe. Surrounded by limestone peaks rising above 2,600 meters, the valley was cut off from the outside world for most of its history. Accessible only on foot across passes that close with the first snow. The stone tower houses still stand. Built for blood feuds and survival in equal measure, they speak of a civilization that kept its culture intact through Ottoman rule, communist isolation, and centuries of mountain life that had no use for the outside world. The hike from Theth to Valbonne crosses a pass of such staggering beauty that those who walk it speak of little else for days afterward. Theth kept its secrets for centuries. Standing in the valley, it still feels that way. The Terelj Valley lies just beyond the edge of Ulaanbaatar, and yet it feels like a world entirely untouched. Here, the open steppe gives way to granite boulder formations, pine forest, and river meadow, all watched over by skies that are almost impossibly wide. The Mongolian gur, the round white tent of the nomads, dots the valley floor, smoke rising from its chimney at dusk. Horses roam freely across the grassland, and the only sound at night is the wind moving through the pines. This is a landscape that hasn't changed in centuries, and a way of life that has endured for longer still. The Kungsleden, the King's Trail, stretches just over 450 kilometers through the mountain landscapes of Swedish Lapland. The idea, when it was first established in the early 20th century, was for the trail to pass through the most beautiful areas the Swedish mountains had to offer. It passes through 4 national parks and the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Laponia, a trail through alpine terrain, mountain birch forests, and glaciers that stretches above the Arctic Circle. In summer, the midnight sun bathes the tundra in a golden light that never quite fades. In winter, the northern lights dance above the frozen lakes in silence. This is not a valley of walls and towers. It is a valley of silence, of reindeer, and of endless sky. The Cocora Valley in Colombia is one of those places that looks like it was designed to be looked at. The valley floor is a patchwork of green farmland and cloud forest, but rising from it, impossibly tall and impossibly thin, are the wax palms. The national tree of Colombia, they can grow to 60 meters high, the tallest palm on earth. They stand in the mist like sentinels, ancient, still, and somehow completely alone in the clouds. Walking among them feels less like hiking and more like wandering into a landscape that belongs to another world entirely. This is the Colombian Andes at their most surreal and their most beautiful. Our next valley destination brings us to one of the great river landscapes of Europe. Situated between Bingen and Koblenz, the Middle Rhine Valley runs through steep vineyard slopes and medieval castles appearing on every bend. A river that has carried the weight of European history, trade, invasion, pilgrimage, and myth for 2,000 years uninterrupted. The Lorelei Rock rises from the river where the current runs fastest and the valley narrows to its most dramatic point. Sailors feared it. Poets wrote about it. Standing beside the water, you understand both. 40 castles in 60 kilometers. Roman roads beneath the vineyards. Wine that has been made on these slopes since before Germany existed as a country. The Rhine Valley is definitely a must-see. The Kolsai Lakes are known as the Blue Necklace of the Northern Tian Shan. 3 alpine lakes strung through a valley gorge in southeastern Kazakhstan at altitudes between 1,800 and 2,700 meters. In Kazakh, the name Kolsai means a lake in a gorge, a perfect description for these lakes nestled among pine-covered slopes deep in the Tian Shan Mountains, their forests reflected in still water. Above the tree line, Siberian ibex traverse near vertical rock faces, and golden eagles circle the ridges on morning thermals. Most travelers to Kazakhstan never make it here, and those who do rarely forget it. This is Central Asia at its most quietly spectacular. A valley that most of the world has never heard of. That will not last. Muong Valley is Vietnam's largest terraced rice field, a 15-kilometer valley southeast of Sapa, stretching through 5 ethnic minority villages to Bon Ho. The terraces were cut by hand, one earth wall at a time, by Black Muong, Red Dao, Jie, and Tay farmers whose grandparents and great-grandparents shaped these slopes into what they are today. Scattered across the valley floor are nearly 200 ancient carved stones, mysterious rock formations whose symbols remain unexplained, a prehistoric presence beneath the rice fields. In autumn, when the rice ripens, the entire valley turns gold, and the Huanglian Sun Mountains rise behind it all like the backdrop of a dream. A valley that is both living and ancient at the same time. The Douro Valley is the world's oldest officially recognized wine region, a UNESCO World Heritage landscape of terraced hillsides that step down to a winding river, where port wine has been produced for over 2 centuries. Generation after generation, farmers carved these hillsides into vast terraces to let the grapevines draw water from below and sun from above. And to this day, the harvest is still picked by hand. The best way to experience the Douro is slowly, by boat along the river, watching the terraces change color in the late afternoon light, a glass of port in hand. The Douro is not a dramatic valley, it is a beautiful one. And in September, when the harvest begins, it comes alive in a way that is impossible to describe and impossible to forget. The Kinabatangan Wildlife Sanctuary is one of only 2 places in the world inhabited by 10 species of primate, 4 of which are found nowhere else on Earth. Along this 560-kilometer river in Sabah, Borneo, you will find Bornean orangutans, proboscis monkeys, pygmy elephants, and Sunda-clouded leopards, all within reach of a slow boat at dawn. Only around 1,500 Bornean pygmy elephants remain in the world, with an estimated 300 in the area near the river. A morning on the Kinabatangan is unlike anything else. The mist lifting off the water, hornbills calling from the canopy, and an orangutan watching you from the trees with the calm curiosity of someone who knows this forest far better than you ever will. Deadvlei is a white clay pan inside the Namib National Park, surrounded by some of the highest sand dunes on Earth and filled with the blackened skeletons of camel thorn trees that died 900 years ago and have never decomposed because the desert is too dry. The trees are still standing, the dunes are still red, the pan is still white. Nothing here changes. The silence is so complete that you can hear your own heartbeat. And when the morning light hits the dunes and the white pan simultaneously, the colors are so extreme that photographs never quite capture them. You simply have to be there. This is a landscape so still, so silent, and so surreal that it feels less like a place and more like a painting someone forgot to finish. And that's our journey through 12 of the world's most stunning valleys. We genuinely hope this video inspired you, and if it did, we'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell us which valley moved you the most. If you enjoyed this journey, please hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss the next one. Safe travels, and see you at the next destination.